Welcome to another Explainer, where we turn data and strategy into a direct roadmap for your success. I am so glad you're here today because we are tackling something that impacts literally everyone listening. Here is a fascinating and honestly kind of wild reality of the corporate world. Asking for more money is entirely expected by your employer, yet it is so rarely done by the employee. Seriously, a huge number of employees are completely underpaid simply because they just never ask for more. Well, today, we are going to fix that.
Now, you might think that avoiding a salary negotiation is just, playing it safe or being polite. Actually, scratch that. It isn't playing it safe at all. Avoiding negotiation is an active, daily financial loss. Every single day you work without having negotiated your true market value, you are essentially paying a fine. Your employer actually expects a negotiation when they hire you, and they expect it during your tenure too. When you fail to ask, it silently costs you thousands and thousands of dollars over the lifespan of your career.
So I really want you to ask yourself this right now. Are you paying the silent tax? Are you losing out on a higher income simply because the psychological fear of rejection feels, highly uncomfortable? Listen, it's completely normal to feel anxious about asking for money. We all do. But that anxiety, it's tricking you into accepting way less than you bring to the table.
Think about this specific number. -20%. This is the invisible penalty. This is the massive opportunity cost you pay for your silence. When you don't negotiate, you aren't just losing out on a one-time bonus. No, you are locking your baseline salary into a lower tier. And what does that mean? It means every future raise, every 401k match, and every single bonus is calculated off a much smaller number. Your silence is literally keeping your wealth in the negative. Okay, let's dive into this. We have a really clear 6-part roadmap today to dismantle that fear. First, the cost of silence. Second, the value-proving heuristic. Third, step 1, document impact. Fourth, step 2, perfect timing. Fifth, step 3, absolute clarity. And finally, how to actually keep your new wealth.
All right, let's start with section 1, the cost of silence, and that invisible penalty of not asking.
So a lot of folks mistakenly assume that hard work just automatically brings a financial reward, right? They think if I just keep my head down, my boss will eventually notice and hand me a 20% raise. Spoiler alert, they won't. But why do we stay silent instead of just asking? Well, it boils down to this. The fear of rejection stops action. The simple, emotional fear of hearing the word no completely traps corporate earners in their current salary bracket. I get it. It feels highly uncomfortable to put yourself out there. But remember, silence is a massive expense. You absolutely have to separate your emotional fear of rejection from the logical, everyday business transaction that is your salary.
Moving right along to section 2, the value-proving heuristic. We are reframing the entire negotiation here.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that we need to shift your mental framework entirely. You have to stop looking at yourself simply as an employee who is subordinate to a company. Instead, start seeing yourself as a business providing a service to a client. When you use the value-proving heuristic, you elevate the whole conversation. You are shifting the negotiation from some kind of personal favor to a logical, totally irrefutable demonstration of the business value and exact revenue you generate for the company. It's a total game changer.
Let's resolve the cognitive dissonance that makes negotiation so scary in the first place. On one side, we have the old way, the personal request. It's apologetic, it's needs-based, and quite frankly, it kind of makes you feel like you're begging. Nobody wants that. But on the other side, we have the value-proving heuristic. It is confident, it is entirely expected by your employer, and it relies strictly on facts. When you ask based on value, you are operating with the absolute certainty of a professional proving their worth.
So the crucial point is how we actually execute this out in the real world. It comes down to 3 concrete tactical steps. First, we document the impact. Second, we nail the perfect timing. And third, we deliver the message with absolute clarity. Let's break each of these down so you can literally apply them tomorrow.
Section 3, Step 1, Document Impact. This is where we build your value case.
You literally cannot walk into a negotiation empty-handed. You need to prepare irrefutable evidence of your professional worth. It's like a giant puzzle, and you have to show, mathematically, that you bring more money into the business than you cost to employ. Here is exactly what you need to document. First, highlight the exact revenue you generated. Did your project bring in new sales? Write that specific number down. Next, detail the processes you optimized. Did you save the team 10 hours a week? That is a quantifiable financial saving.
Finally, list the clients retained or the deals you saved. You have to build a bulletproof case that your presence is a highly profitable asset.
Section 4, Step 2, Perfect timing. Knowing exactly when to make the ask.
You have to understand that employers do not grant raises completely at random. You could have the best value case in the world, but if you pitch it on a day when the company just lost a major account, yeah, it's going to fall flat. The absolute best time to present your value case is immediately following a major success. Did you just deliver a massive project under budget? Did you just close a huge quarter? That is your window. By asking right after a professional win, your value is totally top of mind for your manager. It makes your request feel like a natural, expected progression of the victory you just handed them.
Section 5, Step 3, Absolute Clarity. Delivering the message.
Okay, so you have your documented value and you've picked the perfect post-victory moment. Now your success relies entirely on the energy and certainty of your delivery. And this brilliantly illustrates the core rule. Do not apologize for asking. When you sit down to present your case, you must speak with total clarity. Never ever say, "I'm sorry to bother you with this," or "I know things are tight, but no way." Confidence signals high personal value, and as we know, value drives higher income. State your documented impact, state the 20% increase you are looking for, and then just confidently hold the silence. Let it sit there.
Finally, Section 6, Keep Your New Wealth, the capstone strategy. You executed the steps. You documented, you timed it perfectly, you asked with clarity, and boom, you secured that 20% raise. Huge congratulations. But what you actually do with that money once you secure it will determine your ultimate financial destiny. A higher income creates this kind of fake security if you aren't careful. On one side is the trap, lifestyle creep. Earning more triggers spending more. You know the drill. Instantly upgrading your car, buying a larger home, just expanding your liabilities. You get a 20% raise, but you stay broke. On the other side is the wealthy sequence, the delay trick. You delay gratification, you keep your living expenses entirely flat, and you aggressively invest the difference.
When we look at how this builds, it's wild. If you spend your 20% raise on lifestyle creep, your overall wealth remains totally flat. You literally just own fancier things. But by routing that 20% increment straight into compounding assets, like index funds, your wealth explodes vertically. That single delay trick transforms your new hard-earned active income into exponential passive wealth.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. You now have the exact heuristic to secure the salary increase you deserve. You know how to stop paying that silent tax. But when that money hits your account, the real test begins. Will you inflate your lifestyle just to look successful? Or will you delay your gratification, invest the difference, and buy your permanent freedom from the paycheck cycle? The choice and the wealth is entirely yours to make.